Hey friends, sorry about that. We've had a couple emergencies this morning with work stuff. But now we get to just stretch together and relax and take deep breaths. So that's great. Um, we are going to do that ball stretch. So if you have a towel, a ball, or you can roll up, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And Gracie wanted to be in here with us too, but because I was like, nope, not another distraction. So she's in the other room saying, "Good morning, guys." But if whatever you use, whether it's anything that can give you a 4-inch lift ish for your hips. And then once you get to your mat, you're standing with your feet about hip width apart, and then slide your weight up onto the balls of the feet. So settling, trying to kind of figure out our alignment a little bit. Slide onto the heels, lift the toes. So great to get to stretch together this morning. Slide the weight to the outside rim of the foot. So as you're coming into that positioning, again, seeing what that feels like with your foot. If you can go a little bit bigger with your range of motion, sometimes teasing it in and out will help. And then slide to the inside rim. So as you pull to the inside rim, if you pronate, that's going to be where you have more range of motion. If you supinate, then you may need to kind of tease into that to work through some mobility through your ankle. So feel the freedom to move around, find the spacing that feels good. And then take your weight onto all 4 quadrants. So you feel the front, back, side to side connect to the mat, and then soften your knees. So you take your knees, draw the knees forward so they're coming over the toes. And then flex the quads and pull the knees back over the ankles. So going into that exaggeration intentionally. So we go way forward and then we pull way back using our muscle to stretch the opposition. And then settle the knees so they're right over your feet. Squeeze your glutes and press your hips forward. So sometimes as you come into that, if you can get a deeper extension, clasping your hands, go for it. We're going to come into that a little bit later as well. But if you can feel a little bit more leverage with that hand pull, feel free to use that for that beginning stretch. And then send the hips back. Shift the hips to the right. And then shift the hips to the left. Once again, if you're tighter on one side, you may want to tease that movement, lean into it. If you feel any discomfort or anything that you need to give more attention, spend more time there. Just pick it up when you feel good. And then bring the hips center. So from the hips, knees, feet, we're grounded. Roll the shoulders forward, tilt the chin to the chest. So you're creating space in between the shoulder blades, contracting the chest, so using muscle to open up the opposition muscle. And then roll the shoulders back, open up the heart, look up. Now take that right ear to the right shoulder. And switch, left ear to the left shoulder. So we will be working on some shoulder mobility a little bit today. So again, as we work into that joint, some of you will feel things really deeply and some of you have more mobility and you won't feel it as much. So as we work through it, we'll do about 3 or 4 different shoulder rotator cuff stretches. Bring your head center so that you're stacked in neutral from your head all the way to your feet. Deep breath in, arms come up. Exhale, drop the shoulders and hinge. From there, we scoop the navel to spine. Round your back. Let the weight of your head go. You can sway a little bit right to left. Sometimes that feels better to move your hips right to left. Sometimes it feels better to swing the arms right to left. Find where you're tight and then work through that. And then hold center. Slowly roll yourselves up one vertebrae at a time, squeezing the glutes, pulling the belly button in, rolling those shoulders back and down one more time. Deep breath in, arms up. Exhale, drop the shoulders and hinge. Scoop the belly button in, round your back. One vertebrae at a time, roll yourselves up. So we're just trying to articulate and move so that as you come up, you're stacking yourself with intention. Glutes are tight, abs are tight, heart is lifted. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale, drop the shoulders and hinge. Scoop your belly button in, round your back. I hear you. Lisa, that's so funny. I was just doing the same. I painted my toes last night and I'm seeing the same thing. And slowly roll up. I just keep telling myself everyone's supposed to be 6 feet away from me. So from 6 feet, they should look good. As long as 6 feet away they look good, we're good. Now take your left hand, bring it behind your back. So Myrnie, this will be our first one for that. Oh, I love it, you guys. For that shoulder stretch series. So I have my hand tucked. I'll be able to do more on this side with post-surgery for this one than I will be able to do on this one. So I'm going to give you two options. You can have your hand on your hip or you take it behind. Then you bring your right hand. There she is. And you bring your right hand and pull. So you draw down and then pull the left elbow towards you as you're sliding. So you're trying to let it come down and you're pulling towards you as you're dropping it. Now, as we breathe, you can bring this hand farther over, you can keep it farther out, and you can tease it so you can pull on it, release it, pull on it, release it. Same thing with the hand on the hip. If that's the mobility that feels good, hang out there. The scapula, so the shoulder blade, will try and lift a little bit and then you won't get into that deeper portion of that stretch. So you want to try and breathe and let go of the shoulder. Inhale. We intentionally do this one. They're in order so that they can loosen up as we go. As you exhale, draw the shoulder blades down your back. Yeah, I know. I was finding that our mobility, you guys are so strong that the stronger, the tighter those muscles are, the deeper you'll feel that stretch. So good for us. Now release that and you'll go to the other side. Now for my mobility here, I can't get this elbow in the same position, so I can't reach it with my left hand. So I place it on the hip, which is the base move of that stretch. Yeah, it's not even, it's just it won't go. It's that frozen shoulder piece. So again, you can have your hand here, and even this stretch for me, because of that frozen shoulder hanging out here, I feel a really tight pull where they've reattached my tendons. So again, for you, if you have post-injury, if this is enough, you just hang out there. If you want to have the hand here and add an assist with the other. So if you see the mobility, this elbow can do a lot more than this one, which is stuck. So it kind of just depends on where you're at this morning. And then from there, apply a little pull with that left arm, and it's the sinking down that we want. So it's easy if we hunch up, but if we drop it down, oh, you guys are super cute. I'm not gonna do anything these are all things I should be doing, right? It's like my own PT. So don't worry guys, but thank you. I appreciate that. It's all good. It's just, I think because those tendons are shortened, it won't. There's just some things it won't do. So that's okay. It can do this. But again, for those of you who can be back here and go deeper into that, go for it. You can draw down lower and then you can pull towards you. That same thing, that teasing, letting it go and pulling it forward. You can use muscle to pull this right elbow forward to deepen that stretch where that scapula pulls forward. Inhale. Exhale, feel the shoulder drop. Yes, I can appreciate and respect that. And I promise I'll be careful. So, The stretching is probably not what's going to get me. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, release that right hand, bring both arms down to the side, shake them out. Now you're going to take your arm so the left hand comes underneath the right. So, see? So I'm not alone. Maybe it's just all our work. Maybe it's not surgery at all. So when you come over here, you're applying pressure with this left hand. Now, if you can hook the hand, and then pull your right hand over. So it could be that this is plenty. So you decide where you want to go with that. It could be that pulling this left arm over is enough, or you're here, and then if you want, you add. So you can move like a windshield wiper. Now again, that's where I'm not going to have as much mobility. So I can apply more pressure here with that frozen shoulder than here. You can go bigger in that. I know, silly fish. Who knew kayaking could be so dangerous? So you're taking your right hand, I'm all tangled, so I don't know which hand is which. You're taking your right hand and pushing over. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, push with your left hand. Oof. See, that's the one that's super. You have to breathe through that one. For some of you, you're gonna have a lot more mobility. Go to your range. One more time, sweep to the left. So you're pushing towards that left, and then switch. Breathe one more time. We'll do a third, an extra push. And then pull back. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Unwrap your hands. Switch the arm. So now your right hand comes under. You could hold right here and pull this left elbow so that you're drawing this nice and strong and tight. You could hook it and hold right there. From there, push, so you're pushing with that right hand, with that left hand to the right. Inhale, and then exhale, push in opposition. So now that right hand pushes over. Sweep it back. So again, you could hold a windshield wiper action, so you could just continue with movement, where we hold and we breathe. So our goal, some of you are going to be over here. You go to your full range. So I'm pushing to my full range right here, but some of you are going to have more range of motion over this way. I want you to go to that and then switch it. Inhale. As you exhale, drop those shoulders down. We're going to do two more. Come over. So like wringing out a sponge, if you take your elbows towards the left and you're taking your hands towards the right and you drop the shoulders down, you'll get a deeper stretch, and then come over to the left. Drop those shoulders down. They're going to start to ride up here, and we want to keep those down. All right, last one. Come over to the right. Drop that left shoulder. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Now switch. Bring it over to the left. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Now bring it center, release the stretch, shake out those arms. The shoulders should feel nice and good. Now to the back of your mat, deep breath in. We're gonna progress from there. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, drop the shoulders and hinge. Scoop your belly button in, round your back. Draw the hands to the floor, ignore your toes. Walk your hands forward. High hover, squeeze your glutes, don't worry. Low hover. Press your chest through, squeeze your glutes, lay your thighs down, flatten your feet, and look up. So you're getting, yes, I agree, Marnie, I agree. I think that's coming from our rotator cuff, which makes sense, I suppose, because of where mine gave out. And then push back into your child's pose, reaching your hands forward. So if we did this before and after, you would notice that you have a bigger reach with your hands after. So as you bow your head, crawl your hands as far forward as you can, and then feel the elbows get heavy and sink into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, slide up onto your hands and knees. Now from here, so you're on your hands and knees, you're going to take your left hand, bring it through. We're staying in that hand and knee. So we typically do it back here from child's pose. We're staying up, we're using a little bit more gravity. Take that left hand, feed it through. You're laying on your left shoulder. Now picture like wringing out a sponge. You can adjust your hip to shoulder, so you're taking your body and you're twisting away. So if I push my right hip down a little bit, I can stretch a little bit deeper. So if I just roll with it, move around, but find where you can create a little tension into that stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, one more time. Now, as you exhale, pull your abdominals in nice and tight. Take your right hand, push down into the floor, and you're trying to create just a little bit more stretch through the back of the shoulder and the back. So we apply pressure down here, and we scoop and hollow the abs and twist so that it's as if you're taking your right ribs towards the mat. Inhale. Exhale. One more big deep breath in. I know it's so good for us. It's like giving ourselves our own little massage. And then come up. And if we practiced even just one stretch a day, our life would be so much better. And then when we practice stretching, if we think about gratitude, what we're grateful for at the same time, our life would be even more beneficial. Take that right arm, feed it through, so I'll turn the other direction. So you take your right arm, feed it through, lay on it, create that same tension. So you're twisting your body until you feel a deepening in that stretch. You can move the arm up and down. You can take it farther forward. A couple deep breaths in that position. Now, place a little more pressure in your left hand. Pull your left ribs towards the mat and scoop the belly in so you're creating a little spinal twist with your own muscle. That's going to pull the scapula just a little farther away, get a little deeper stretch. So your own muscle, it's like we're doing that contortioning on the chair. You're pulling the belly up, you're pushing the left hand down, and you're twisting the left ribs towards your mat. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, big deep breath in. And exhale, come up onto your hands and knees. Now we're gonna sweep around so the legs are in front. So we have two different things we're gonna do here. First, send the legs out to the side. So you have that nice open hip, abdominals are tight, body is tall. And then crawl yourselves forward. Inhale. Exhale, try and release any tension in the inner thighs. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, press your chest deeper to the mat. So if you have a ball or a roller, you could use that, or a yoga block or whatever you have available. You could use that in front so that you don't have to come all the way forward. Any lift so that you can lean into that apparatus would work. So bench, Shibusu, anything that can allow you to kind of lean into it so you can let go. We're trying to let gravity do its thing. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, crawl yourselves up. As we do that, take the left leg, sweep it out to the side so it's going into inversion. If that doesn't feel good, tuck it and bring it in like we do typically. And then from there, sit up nice and tall and then turn towards your right leg. So you twist it and then lean your body forward. You're taking your left ribs and wrapping them to the right thigh. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, crawl yourself up. Tuck this right leg under, and then you choose. You can take that left leg straight out. It can be in front. It can be resting on that right thigh. You choose what feels good today. And then move around a little bit in your hips. We're not going to sit in this position for long this morning. So as you come into that, press into your left glute. So you want to take that left glute, drive it into the floor a little bit. And then you're going to sit on your right hand. Once you sit on your right hand, then apply gentle pressure, bringing that left ear towards the left shoulder. So picture, instead of pulling towards where you're sitting on the hand, lean to the left. So if I lean away from my hand, I'm going to feel a deepening in the stretch. Every exhale you take, see if you can draw a little bit farther to your left side. Tilt the chin down. Breathe. One more time, big deep breath in. As you exhale, go in, release the head for a moment. We're going to come right back into that, but first, take out that right hand, press the palm into the floor. So we start, press down first, so we're not activating the neck stretch yet. So when you push down into the floor, and Lisa, this is the one we were talking about for the elbow and the thumb, if you push into the ground and lean to your left, you should feel the stretch not only from where your shoulder attaches, the elbow, and then that thumb. So you're trying to keep that pressure and then keep the lean to the left and then apply a little extra pull. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to lean to your left to deepen the stretch. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, let go of the tension in the neck, the upper back, the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist. Now release your head. Go ahead and bring that hand to neutral. Now the right hand comes across the body and then we twist to the left. So as we come into that rotation, since we're not going to spend a lot of time here, you get to pick. You can be in rotation here or you can bring your palms to the floor. Driving your right ribs over to your left thigh. Big deep breath in. Exhale. See if you can scoop your belly in and get a little bit deeper rotation. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, crawl your hands forward. You can keep your hands on the floor, fingertips, palms, elbows, forehead. Again, this is the same thing. If you have something in front of you, it can be a piece of furniture, but if you have something that you can lean into so your body can let go of, find something that assist doesn't make it easier. It allows you to go deeper. So oftentimes it's like asking for help, right? We don't want to ask for help, but sometimes that makes everything else better because we're willing to find what works and let the body go instead of gripping tight and holding everything ourselves. So again, if you release into a ball, a roller, a blanket, a towel, inhale. As you exhale, try and let go of the left hip. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, relax. Now crawl yourselves back up. You're going to take this left leg out to the side. So coming into reverse, the left leg goes out and then that right leg is in inversion. Now if that feels better tucked in, we want what we do today to feel like a good stretch, like a deep stretch, sometimes uncomfortable, but not painful. So again, the IT band is on the verge, and so was that rotator cuff stuff. But you want to feel like you have the freedom to move around and feel good tension, like a good stretch and release. Turn towards your left leg, lift your body nice and tall, and then crawl forward. Inhale. Exhale, let go. So you're trying to drive that right hip down. And then that fingertip to the mat is plenty. Some, the elbows to the mat. Some can lay their body all the way flat on their thigh, which is very amazing. So you go into what you can hit with that range of motion. Drive this right hip down and then twist against it. Inhale. As you exhale, let go. And then crawl yourself up. Take that right leg, bring it underneath, and then you pick what you're going to do with the left. It can be out in front, it can be on top. Now again, it's the same leg you just did, so it should feel a little more limber. So when you come into that, you have that nice open hip. The hip on the left side should sink down just a little bit better on that second round. Now lean your body forward and see if that mobility, so again, from that first time to the second time, see if that mobility has increased as you crawl forward. If you need an assist, use it. Big deep breath in. Exhale. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, come up. Now this time you're going to lengthen your legs out in front. So you take the left leg and the right leg, reach out and then reach towards your toes. If you have a towel or a band, you could put it around your feet and pull. Try and keep your chest lifted. Inhale. So our goal is that we're stretching the hamstrings without coming into that flexion and rounding the back. So lift your heart and that's going to deepen the pull on the hamstrings. Inhale. And then exhale, round your back. Go ahead and drop your head towards your thighs. Again, this is that same thing where some people can touch their head down to their thighs. So if you can go into that deepening of that stretch, go for it. Inhale. Exhale, let go of your hamstrings. Let go of the tightness in your low back. and then pull yourselves back up. Now, bend your knees. We're going to use the feet to again stretch the shoulders. So take your hands on your feet and then push your feet down. So you're picturing that when I push my hands with my feet, my scapula separate, my shoulder blades separate. So don't allow your body to fall forward. You keep your body pulling back, and then as you press down with your toes, feel the stretch in the thoracic spine, the mid-back, but also right underneath those shoulder blades. Now, your body's gonna try and grip and keep you tight. You're trying to let it go. So as you pull, you may have to release it and then go back into it. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can push your toes down a little bit farther. Inhale. Exhale one more time. Push the toes down just a little bit farther. Breathe in. As you exhale, release that tension, shake out the hands. Take your right leg on top of your left on this side. So now coming into the first round on this side. So same options apply. I can have that leg in front. I can have it resting in front, or I can put the foot all the way on the thigh. Once you're in that position, press into your right sits bone. So you're pressing towards the right side so that we're not peeling up here. So once you press in, lift your body nice and tall. Then we're going to sit on our left hand this time. So you go ahead and anchor that, lean to the right, and apply gentle pressure on the head. So each time you breathe, each exhale you have, release the tension in the neck, the shoulder. If I go this way with my body weight, it's going to pull that more tight. So if I need less, I come away. If I need more, I lean in. Now draw the chin slightly towards the chest. Each exhale, let go and lean right. One more big deep breath in. Exhale. Now bring your head center. Release that grip. Take the hand out from underneath. Press the palm down. So you're spreading your fingertips, that's on purpose. So holding your cell phone, holding that grip, even if it's weights more than a cell phone, that's dreaming. But I know we're holding our cell phone more than weights, but pretend we got to hold weights more than a cell phone. You want to spread that out, push the hand into the floor, lean, so you're pushing into the thumb, you're trying to open up this elbow, lean to your right, keep that pressure, and then once again, apply a little extra on the neck. Sometimes, yay, Karen got it. Sometimes moving that hand front to back can make a big difference with where I feel the stretch. So feel the freedom to move that around. Go after where you're tight. Inhale. Exhale. Hold to the right. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, come up nice and tall, release that grip. Release the hand, and then bring that left arm over. Remember, we only get to do this once and for a short period of time, so you can either use that fulcrum and twist, or you can bring your hands down into the floor. Your left ribs are rotating towards your right thigh, and then you're pushing the left hip deeper into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can let go and twist a little bit bigger through your mid-spine. Inhale. Exhale, let go. Now twist yourself back to center and lean forward. So again, use an assist if you can get deeper that way. Hands on the floor, fingertips, palms, elbows. You can use that ball to rest your forehead on. Sometimes the nice thing about a ball or a roller is you can roll into it. So if you have something that's round and allows you to be mobile, you can roll side to side a little bit, forward and back, and kind of work into where you're tight. Inhale. Exhale, let go. One more time, big deep breath in. As you exhale, push back up. Now we're going to take our legs, we'll come right back into this, remember, but we're going to take our legs forward and take your left hand over towards the right foot. Drive your left hip down, and it could be that my hand touches the knee. It could be that it touches the ankle, the foot. Then take this right hand and bring it over to the left hip. Inhale. Exhale. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, lift up and switch. Take your right hand over to the left. Assess what this side feels like. That could be the quadricep, the shin, the foot. We create that spinal rotation. Drive into your right hip and then bring that left hand over to the right hip. The bigger the lean forward, the deeper the stretch. So if you want to deepen that, you're just going to lean your body forward a little bit farther. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, lift back up. And then once again, going back into that stretch so we can do it before and after. Place that right foot back on top of the left. Move around a little bit in that. So the second time we don't hang out here very long. We just want to see if we can create a little bit more mobility coming back into something we've already stretched, released, and then stretched again. Crawl forward. Inhale. Exhale, let go of your back, that right hip. Let the right quadricep feel heavy and pull down towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale, crawl your hands back. Now, we're going to go into another stretch. I'm going to do my good side first so you can feel or see what it looks like, and then you can feel it out on both sides for yourself. So you're going to come into side lying. When you come into that side lying position, you have your knees like you're sitting in a chair 90 degrees. You could prop yourself up if you have that ball or a pillow or a towel or a blanket. You could prop this up if that would be more comfortable. Otherwise, picture 90 degrees at the armpit. So your arm isn't up here or down here. It's straight out 90 degrees. Bring the hand so that the hand is right over the elbow. And then use your right arm and pull that left hand down towards the floor. Now this arm, I have mobility to go into a more full range of motion. But what you want to watch is you're not out here. I don't know if you can see that, but the angle at the armpit and the elbow, both of those, you're working for 90 degrees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, let go of that shoulder. Let it sit in that stretch. Inhale one more time. I bet, Chels. I buy that. Now, release that arm, bring it back up. We're gonna do that one more time so you can just let it go for a moment. So this direction is gonna feel inactive. And then one more time, bring it back. So if you're leaning away, that's gonna reduce the tension. So you wanna make sure you're keeping that top shoulder, that right shoulder, so that it's leaning forward a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Now release that stretch and flip over to the other side. So again, this is where from my surgery of frozen shoulder, my mobility is way different. Yes. Yeah, that's such a good point, Karen. That's exactly what we were talking about with that other stretch. It's not, when we use like a bar to do single leg stretches, it lets us go deeper. So it's if you can let this go so that your shoulder can let go, then you're not holding, your body can release, so it deepens the stretch. So again, if you have a towel, a blanket, anything that you can rest that on, go for it. Now you have that body square through the armpit, the elbow, and then pull that right hand towards the floor. Now again, you're trying to go full range. So you're trying to, if you have the mobility, you would bring that all the way to the floor if you could. And then a couple things to check. If it feels like you can get it down there easily, and some will be able to. But if your rotator cuff, if you're really tight through the back of the shoulder, then having that 90 degree at the armpit and the 90 degree at the elbow, so your hand is pretty close in, is going to help increase that tension so you can get into that stretch. So again, I have more mobility if my angle at the elbow is wider, but that's not hitting the spot that's super tight. Yeah. Well, good, I'm not alone. Yay! Kindred spirits for sure. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. I know I've been teaching a little bit more yoga style lately, and it makes me realize how many very mobile people there are, which is not me. So I am definitely work in progress. One more big deep breath in. And then as you exhale, come inactive. So let it go so that again, we're teasing it into another round. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, bring it back. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, try and feel the weight of that drop a little closer to the ground. And then release that. Let that arm go. Come onto your back. Once you're on your back, now your shoulders should feel so great, so amazing. Once you're on your back, so we're getting ready to do what we're going to combine a couple things. So we're getting ready to do that back stretch. I want you to feel how tight it is first. So lay your legs straight, feel underneath your spine, feel the gap that you have from that point of contact at the shoulders to the tailbone. You want to feel how long it is and the width and the depth. So you're trying to see, is that an inch off the floor? Is that 2 inches off the floor? Where are you at this morning? Then bend the knees, lift your bottom, put your hips on top of whatever tool you're using today. Then lengthen the legs. And while we stretch these hip flexors, then we're going to add a little bit of that shoulder mobility, shoulder work. So let these go. Each breath, you want to picture the weight of your legs getting heavy and sinking a little deeper into the floor. Now from there, take your left arm, bring it across the body. So if my feet are too narrow, I'm going to roll off my ball. So you take your feet nice and wide so you're like a tripod so that you can stretch that. Now, the reason we're doing this on our back is when we're upright and we do that stretch, oftentimes I see this movement where to get that stretch, yeah, I know, right? Marnie, such a good idea. Thanks for the suggestion. So when we come forward, if we're against a wall or on the floor, then we have the accountability of keeping that right or that left shoulder down as we pull with the right arm across the body. So when we come into that position on our back, you ground that right or that left shoulder and pull to the right. And we don't let that shoulder float off the floor, just like when we do the IT band. Keep it to the mat. And switch. Press your right shoulder down, pull the arm to the left. Inhale. Now as you exhale, wrap the arms like you're giving yourself a hug. Now take the arms overhead and let them hang into the floor. Sweep the arms down around the outside and then give yourself a hug with the opposite arm on top. If you forgot which one it was, it's not a big deal. So just come into that same cross hug position. Still feeling the release into the hips. Inhale. Exhale, let go of the weight of the legs. Bring the arms over, let them hang into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms around the outside, bend the knees, lift the legs, and then reach the feet overhead. Now from there, small little kicks, loosening up the hamstrings into the glutes. Inhale. Exhale, hold, flex your feet, open the legs. So we're just going to roll through that 3 times so that we can finish with one last stretch from here. Close the legs, bend the knees, let the knees hang open. Inhale. Exhale, close the legs, straighten the legs, flex your feet, and open. Inhale. Exhale, close the legs, bend the knees, open. Inhale. Exhale, last time, close the legs, straighten the legs, flex your feet, reach up, grab your toes, your ankles, your calves, or your hamstrings. Inhale. Exhale, open the legs. Inhale. Exhale, soften the knees, bring the feet together, grab onto the ankles and push your knees out. That also depresses the scapula. So we intentionally press the elbows into the knees. That's going to drop the shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale, release that. Set one foot down at a time. Lift your hips. Remove the ball. Roll your back down. Straighten the legs. And then feel the gap underneath your back. So the tighter your back is, the bigger the difference before and after. So now as that back melts into the floor, we roll ourselves up, and then finishing with that nice tight hip flexor. Go ahead and turn so you're on your hands and knees. Here we go, Lisa and Chelsea. Take your left foot forward. That left foot is forward, and we slide your right foot back. Lean into this front leg as much as you can. So we're trying to intentionally grip the right glute. If we squeeze the right glute, it's going to lengthen out the hip flexors, so as on that right side. Now, if you can, so you can stay as you are, or reach back. You can reach back and grab onto the foot. You can grab onto the hamstring, the calf. But in that, you want to create the bind and then lean back forward if you can. And we talked about yesterday, that could be leaning on your quad. That could be bringing the hand to the floor. But what your goal is that you, again, each exhale, release into this right hip. So we're trying to finish with that pull, that nice long pull. And Marnie, it's the same thing that we talked about with that shoulder and that IT band. When we really get in deep into that portion of that hip flexor and psoas, it feels that same tight pull. Inhale. Exhale, lean bigger into your left knee. One more time, big deep breath in. Exhale, release the grip behind you, whatever that looks like for your stretch, and then switch the leg. So now, again, I could hang right here. So we're all at different spaces. We all show up with a different set of circumstances. I want you to figure out what feels right. So you can stay right here. You can come up right here, lean in. You can reach around, grab the foot, reach to the hamstring, the calf. And then our goal, again, instead of coming up, our goal is to tease forward. Oh, yay. So again, we're leaning in. We might come up and then push forward and come down. Come up, push forward and come down. Find what feels good for you. It's going to grip and not let you in. So you've got to breathe and train it to let go. That's intentional work. So again, it's not going to happen if we don't put some energy, some mental energy into that. 2 more big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, lean into that right knee a little deeper. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, you can pull the foot closer to your behind. You can squeeze your left glute a little tighter or lean forward a little farther. Release your foot, both hands are down. Lift your left knee, step your right foot back. High hover, don't worry. Low hover. Press your chest through, flatten your feet. 1 more stretch for that. Yes, that is what I mean, Chelsea. Let me see if I understand that correctly. When you exhale, you're trying to, so you inhale and you might grip a little tighter on that inhale, and then on the exhale, you're trying to go deeper into it or let it go, let the muscle that's gripping go. So for example, dig your toes into the floor here, if you can, and then hang your body. So the difference is here, we don't have the gravity load, but you can squeeze the glutes to get the hip flexors to open up. Now we add gravity into it, take your toes, dig them into the floor and hang. So your hips are hanging Now your body's gonna grip so that it kind of lifts the hips a little bit. You take a big deep breath in, and then as you exhale, you picture those hips dropping lower to the floor. You let go of the muscle that's binding and lifting because it doesn't trust the movement. So you're creating that whole release and let go on the exhale. And then set your knees down. One more time, sink back into child's pose. Inhale. As you exhale, slide up onto your hands and knees, round your back, scoop the belly. So again, same thing, you should feel right here that you're pulling that shoulder blade away from each other. And then flatten the back, dig the toes in, lift your hips, press back. The muscle will it'll feel like it's a lot more protected when you keep it engaged. Walk your hands in as you're in that dangle position. Whatever stress you can let go of. So it's the same thing here. Your body wants to hang on to all your worries. It wants to hang on to all your anxieties, all your negative self-talk, and then we have to mentally say no. We have to say no, let it go. So again, whether that's tightness in your hamstrings, if your neck has started to grip, let it go. If you started to think about your tasks for the rest of the day and it's getting stressful, let it go. And then we roll up and we try and only engage what we need. So we squeeze our bottom, we pull our belly button in, and then we roll the shoulders back and down. And we do that because structurally then that sets us for success. So once again, deep breath in, arms up. Exhale, drop the shoulders and hinge. Scoop your belly button in, dive forward. Yep, I know, I'm with you. I had to fight that this morning, I tell you. Whatever you can let go of, leave it. And then as we roll up squeezing our glutes, foundation. Pull our belly button in, roll our shoulders back and down so that the body is stacked nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, arms up. And exhale, one more time, deep breath in, arms up. And exhale, give yourselves a big hand. Good work today, you guys. Thank you for being so patient. That was an exercise, just waiting for the start time. Real quick, talking about the release of things. So when you have, because obviously I train all the time for us to be tight and engaged and to pull our abs in. And that's so important and so good. But here's the thing. If you have, hey Akiko, if you have a muscle that's tightening and constantly gripping and you can't get it to let go, then another muscle is weak. So the muscle that you are always gripping and not able to release takes over. And so that's where some people have quadriceps that are way over balanced or overtrained, and then the hamstrings are weak, or the glutes are weak and the quads and the hamstrings take over. Because if we cannot learn to let go and let other muscles do what they need to do, then one muscle group just takes over. You get really strong in one muscle group, but then you have all these other weaknesses. And then if you picture like a rubber band that you have 4 spokes pulling on the rubber band, one rubber band lets go and only the other 3 are. And then eventually you have all this room and space for problems with your joints because one muscle is doing the work instead of all 4 sharing the load. I don't know if that makes sense. But if you think about in being able to engage a muscle, but then also let it go, that's true overall fitness. So if I can engage my bicep and just sitting here, engage it, and then let it go, and engage it and let it go, that's more of a strength conditioning that's more mental, and people don't want to do it because it's a lot of thinking. And a lot of times we want to do our workouts where we can let our mind go. And some days we need to do that. So don't be hard on yourselves if you want to just zone out, or if you do want to plan what you're making for dinner, or like those, there are days where that's more valuable. And then just combat that sometimes with being really aware. Oh, yay, I love that. Being aware of that we think being tight and strong is always the most valuable. But if that is not in balance, it's actually weakness. So you can be super strong. You'll see people who do tons of weight of bicep curls, and then they go to reach for something and they tear their bicep right off. So if we don't have that, and it's the same like with the fish with my shoulder, if that muscle is out of balance, then when it goes to give, and mine was overuse, but when it goes to give, it gives. So if we can train it to engage, release, that's the real challenge. And same with our brain and our heart, right? Like when we can train it to protect, or to do the things that that are beneficial and help, are productive, then that's great. But then when we can release the clutter that's not serving us, and it's so hard. I'm not very good at it. That's why I say that we need to do it every day. I'm also not very flexible. That's why we're here together. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great Father's Day. And just like always, I know that Father's Day can be a hard day for a lot of people. And I also know that some people want to be fathers, and that makes it hard. But just remember that any way that you mentor the world, you can have that gift. Even if your family looks different than a traditional family, just know that mentoring and being an advocate for youth in any form, or any other human being, is I celebrate that. So happy Father's Day to all of you who look out for one another, who look out for youth, and again, mentor and advocate for love and kindness. Have a great, and it's sunny today instead of like yesterday. So enjoy that, and we'll be in touch. Oh, that's a little scary, right? to my group of 6, I appreciate that. It's because I love you guys. So it's easy for me to speak to you because I'm in a very safe space. So I feel like-minded. It's not as vulnerable, but I love you guys. Enjoy that sunshine. And thanks, Marnie, for that shoulder suggestion. I wouldn't have done that without you. And I think it's so good for us. So we'll add that into so now we have psoas, hip flexor. We're going to be amazing at the end of this. I love it. So have a great day, and I will see you soon.